Hello, good evening and afternoon. Welcome to Rangers Radio, the build up to Rangers at home to Ross County. Join myself, Fox, here on the show. With the one and only Old Bear. Afternoon, Old Bear.
Afternoon, mate. How are you?
I'm alright, mate. My phone's exploding here. People calling for a head of Southside. Yeah.
He's had nail-lock, isn't he? No, he's absolutely nail-lock. I tell you.
About 15 minutes to go. His first selection of the day is getting beat. It's not over till it's over, but they need to score 2 goals, the Arsenal, to keep his hopes, his Super Six alive. Anyway, we're going to the team. Old Bear, I'll give you that, and then you can comment.
Well, I hope I've got the team but here.
McLaughlin, Tavernier, Golson, Davis, Barisic, Jank, Lundstrom and Cantwell, Fashion Jr., Kent and Morelos. I would suggest up with the exact same setup as Wednesday night, with Cantwell playing when Tillman was playing, Jank and Lundstrom instead of Kamara and Lundstrom, and obviously John McLaughlin comes in for Alan McGregor. Substitutes: McGregor, Hadji, Kolak, Kamara, Sands, Wright, Raskin, Lowry and Tillman. Obviously, the Rangers support will be there today, and they'll be really looking forward to seeing Scott Wright coming on.
He's always well presented, isn't he? He's always well presented. Well, it's worth the entry money alone for that. It's not a bad team, isn't it? I mean, it's quite a good team, especially after the during the week. All hitting form, all playing well. Not a bad team. I think maybe Kamara, but he'll be a bit peed off right enough that he's no held his position.
You think modern football players are like that now, mate, or do they just rotations part of the game now? You don't. I think you're right with that. I think it's just built into them now. They just accept it now and say, just accept it. It's a squad game, so you've got to use the squad. You're not going to keep them all happy if you don't use the squad. Put it that way. They've all got to get their time on the park. But still, if you're getting the man of the match, you think to yourself, change the guy beside me. Don't change me. But there you go. It's just the way it is, isn't it? Yeah, same wages, isn't it? They're not bothering. They get the same wages, so they're not going to be bothering that much. No, you'll not be too upset. But I suppose sports science and all that comes into it, doesn't it? All that. Aye. He's back in. Ryan Jack only had a few minutes on Wednesday, so he's fresh. Lundstrom went off, and he only played half a match last week. Kamara's played 3 full games, including Kilmarnock, I think. So, sports scientists, maybe no football for him, because arguably, Glenn Kamara's been my best player in the last 2 games, mate. Oh, he's played well. Give the boy his due. He has played well. Would it be hard playing better than he's been playing, because he's been playing crap all season, but he did play the 8 games well. That's what we want to see. That's the player that we go at the beginning. No, I mean, when he came out for the beginning, that was the player we all bought into and went, oof, what was a player? What we have had since the beginning of the year is, all right, it's had injuries and a bit setbacks, but some of his performances weren't that good. I don't know what Beale's done, but whatever he's done, I'm glad he's done it. But it's down to fitness. I think it's down to fitness, not just with Kamara, it's down to fitness with the rest of them. They're all looking a lot fitter now. And you've got to put that down to these extended breaks, and as much as you're getting the coaching staff are getting time to work with them. No, I mean, like a week at a time rather than 2 days a day. They've got a day out. Well, they got a rest day after a game, and then it's 1 day training, and the next day is build up to the game. No, I mean, or it's the game itself. It's they get time now to actually get them fit. Not that they should have needed time. They should have been fit after pre-season stuff. But they clearly weren't fit. But it's looking good now. And breathe. Aye. Sorry, mate. 1, 2, 3. And breathe. Yeah? Is that better? Why don't you pop this pill? Right, okay. Right. If it's all right with you, we'll get the phone lines open. Then I'll come back to your point. I'll take you up to your point, yeah? Yep, no bother, pal. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I disagree with what you said there, Albert, because really, personnel hasn't changed dramatically. You know, there's guys coming back getting fit. You know, the centre halves, Gio maybe never had at the end of his tenure. The shape's pretty much the same as apart from there's more freedom for the wide men and the fullbacks get forward. That's about it, Albert, if I'm being honest.
I mean, the personnel, apart from the two new signings, the personnel is pretty much the same. They get a few back for injury, obviously. But one of the things I think is you're getting the standard of player, let's hopefully. Now, we've not seen Raskin and we've only seen Cantwell and the Gluns. But I think the players know that the standard of player has been up and they're trying to show them that we're good players as well. It's all right you coming in here, but we're good players. But well, you need to up your standard, and I think that's played a part in it as well. They need to prove now that they are the real deal, rather than that nonsense we've been watching for the last 6 months or so. I think it all bodes well. Don't get me wrong, it's only one game during the week, and they did play well. I don't know if it was the best game of the season they played, because they played well against Hearts the first time over there, and they played well against Aberdeen at Ibrox. But that's been it this season, I think. I don't think they've played much football or played well in any other game.
The best performance this season was Eindhoven away, mate, if I'm being honest.
That one as well. How important that game was, you know what I mean, and getting the result. So it's going to sit up there, isn't
it? Talking about people who always perform badly, we'll be joined by Andy Felix. Afternoon, Andrew.
Good afternoon, chaps. I've been good this morning, been running about and sorting the way out and all that, so not too bad. Just settling down to a couple of drinks. I'm quite happy with that team, to be honest with you. I think he's been out of the cup final. I think he's going to give everybody that's fit a go in mind for who he really wants to put out there on cup final day. Slightly disappointed for Kamara because 2 man of the matches, as Albert said, you'd have thought they started today, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's all right, that team. But I've got a theory about my man Jack. If that guy's fit or anywhere like, I think he'll get in the midfield. Gerrard liked him, and I think Beale's of the same thinking. I think that's the one that they rely on if fit. Might be wrong, but that's just my feeling, because he does seem to, whenever he's been fit under Beale, he's more or less getting the games, isn't he?
Well, he never started on Wednesday and he was on the bench, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, he's played a couple of games. He's played more games for the start under Beale than he's played in a long time. Could be we can get him fitter right enough, but there's also a mind for getting him fitter, if you get what I mean. And, like you said, the sports scientist thing as well is using him rightly, if you get what I mean.
It's rotation and the things that we don't see. Kamara's, I think, and I'm going to check it out, mate, but I think Kamara obviously played it. I remember he played against Kilmarnock, then he played against St Johnstone, then he's played against Hearts away, so they'll take him out. He's played 3, and Lundstrom is a wee break along with Jack there, bits and pieces. You can see the common sense here. It's just that we think if you play well, you start the next game, yeah?
Yeah, strange days, isn't it? Like you said, with the football, right enough. I mean, 3 games, like you said, played 3 games. Man, Christ, man, we used to play game after game after game, didn't we? But different football these days, different ways of looking at it. So, yeah, you would think there would be less injuries. I might be wrong, you might be one that you can get me. But you would think there would be less injuries because you're playing on actual carpets, apart from the ones that we played on, to what we played on back in our day. They were all heavy pitches, weren't they? But I don't know. Maybe it's faster, the game today.
The game's faster, mate. The game's faster, no. Whether you like it or no. I'm not saying that the players are necessarily better all better, but the game's definitely faster.
Oh, it's faster. It's played at a different pace, obviously. But I'm with you about the skills factor. I don't know if they're better football players, but it's definitely a quick game now. Most of the games are quick. Whether you can keep that up for 8, 9, 10 games in a trot, especially if you're in one of the positions where the running's everything, like the midfield and up front. You know what I mean? You really have to motor. I don't think anybody could keep that up. They haven't said that boy Kent seems to be doing it. He must be an exception to the rule, that boy.
Aye, man, Yeah, and you think about the two centre backs we've got. The two right-sided defenders we've got. Their games that they've played, considering the game's faster now, is remarkable. I think I read that it was Golson's 250th game against Hearts, mate. And the time he's been at the club to rack up that number of games, it's unbelievable, Andy.
Yeah, I think the modern day footballer are more athletes and than skillful players. I mean, these modern day players, the players that we watched, I totally think they would have adapted to this modern day, and I think they're far better skillful. You can look around quite a lot of the teams, England and Scotland, that have a maverick player and a special player in it, as well. But yeah, where you are, like you said, you can't. I mean, I just, me, it's 4-4-2, get stuck into him, see who comes out at the end. But them days are long gone. But we're two fullbacks, definitely. I mean, they're up and down the park. I'll definitely say that right enough. And I'll be good. I'll not say anything else about them. I'll just move on.
He's struggling, Albert. He's struggling.
Really, Andy.
I'll give you the team. McLaughlin, Tavernier, Golson, Davis, Barisic, Jack Lundstrom and Cantwell, Fashion, Kent and Morelos. Substitutes: McGregor, Hadji, Cholak, Kamara, Sands, Wright, Raskin, Lowry and Tillman. We'll all be looking forward to seeing the boy Raskin, Albert.
Oh, definitely, man. It's. I mean, I don't know anything about the boy. I've not even seen any footage of the guy at all. I don't know nothing. But for other reports and people in the know, and I don't mean I mean the professionals in the game rate him very highly. Anybody that's been speaking about him speak very highly of him. And so he must be a player. He's got to be a player, isn't he? Because there's a lot of teams after him. I know a lot of people say outside the Rangers will say that's a lot of nonsense, but that's what they always say. But aye, I've seen his interview. He looks a happy wee chap. No, I mean, he looks a nice wee guy. But it's supposed to be a terrier. I just hope he's a controlled terrier because
up here. What did you say there?
Terrier, no terrier.
Oh, no, you wouldn't say that on here, Albert.
No, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say that. That's just bad boys that say that.
Right, okay. I look forward to seeing the young boy. He's good age for his Andy, and if he lives up to his reputation, we'll have a player in our hands.
Yeah, I think so. What I like about it, I know it's all soundbites and all that, but he looks really, really up for wanting to come and play, very in tune with his managers, by the sounds of things there as well. So that can all bode well, what I mean? And I like you see the midfield today. I mean, when you read that out there, it sounds good. You get Jack Lumsden, and then you've got Cantwell that can do stuff. I mean, that you would say, if they're all on their game, or they're on the game, that's going to create chances surely today.
Strange enough, see that front four, Andy? I don't even think that's our strongest front four.
Well, so what is Albert? What is?
Cantwell would have in there, but I think Cholak, Lawrence and Tillman are a stronger front four than what we've got the other day. And Roof maybe. Roof in there as well. So it's a combination of the ones that are left out to make up the four, and plus Cantwell.
There you go, Andy. Look that one out. They five are stronger than the four.
No, I said any four for they one. Don't you start, by the way.
What's your thinking, Andy? What's your thinking? I mean, the way Morelos, you can only be as good as your last game.
Yeah, well,
5 o'clock.
Morelos, if he scores goals, Ox, he's an handful, isn't he? You know what I mean? And he has been doing that. I remember coming on 2 or 3 weeks ago and saying he'll get a double. I can't remember who it was against, and he got it. I think it was Kilmarnock. And he seems to take off a wee bit there, right enough. I mean, can you trust him? That's the thing. And I don't, I'll be honest with you, I don't trust him. But you see, if you give him chance, the one-on-ones, he's got to sort that out. Surely somebody should be taking him in training, and tell him that he can go either side of the keeper. Even when the keeper commits himself, he fires the ball straight at the keeper. I don't get that.
I just think that kind of thing, mate, is instinct, mate, and you can't. There's some things you can't teach. Have you seen when Albert draws something that's like Picasso, when Fox does it, it's like matchstick men, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got a point, right enough. But I mean, look, I hope he does well and he keeps scoring. I mean, he's a striker that's in place now. So we're making the chances we're expecting him to do. And as Albert said the other week, which he was right, get into the positions because the chances are coming. Don't be floating about all over the place. Get to where you should be. And he'll be on the end of some of them. You know? He scores goals that he shouldn't score. And he misses goals, misses chances that are unbelievable. You know?
He should score.
Yeah.
He's... but I mean, Morelos is Morelos. He's my personal opinion is his time's up and he'll be away at the end of the season. But that's just me. My disappointment with Morelos is when you've seen Hadji coming back there. You look at wee Hadji coming back and the serious injuries that boy had, and you look to the shape of Hadji. Hadji is a professional, a total professional football player. He come back ready to play. He's no fit, but he's no out of shape. We Morelos come back like a beach ball. You know what I mean? A beach ball with arms and legs. You know what I mean? He's a wee fat balloon. That's totally unprofessional. I just don't get that. I really don't get that. But he's fighting now. He's back into fitness. He looks a lot fitter than he was when he started back. And then he's starting to score goals and he's linking play. So he's playing all right. There's nothing to complain about with him. He scored 2 good goals there on Wednesday night. Wednesday night, a hard venue, so nothing to complain about. But it's just disappointed in him when he come back that shape. That's all.
I understand that. I don't think you're alone in that rationale, but you know, I'll give the team again. McLaughlin, Tavernier, Golson, Davis, Barisic, Jack, Lundstrom, and Cantwell. Fashion Junior, Kent Morales. Substitutes: McGregor, Hadji Cholak, Kamara, Sands, Wright, Raskin, Lowry and Tillman. Good to see John McLaughlin getting a game. I know you're a big fan of him, Andy.
Now wait a minute, have I said anything about it? I'm just trying to think. No,
I think he's making Andy.
I know exactly. Like he's saying every way, like, but
go for that, Andy.
But I don't mind him. He's okay. I mean, he certainly is not going forward going to be the answer for what, because you know, I think he got badly hurt with that Phil's game there, right enough, and then the Ducks game after it. So, but you know, I think in games like this where we should be pressuring them, there shouldn't be a problem, should they?
No. I think Southside said last night that Montgomery has picked the day so far. I don't know if we can believe it. He says they've got a guy who takes a long throw, so maybe McLaughlin's a wee bit better there. Let's be honest about it. And we're going to be doing most of the attacking, so he'll be just passing it side to side. So hopefully, if the game goes to plan, he can lean against the post up better, you know.
That's it. I don't mind McLaughlin coming in. I don't think he's a brilliant keeper, but I don't mind him coming in to sort that. If that's why he's in to sort that problem. He comes in and sorts the problem. That's exactly what I want him to do. But coming in and no sorting the problem, well, it's kind of pointless, isn't it? It's just having him there, and he can't come in and make a difference. Because I think you're right with that long throw. I think that's what he's in to do. Any crossbar plus the long throw to deal with it. So that's the problem you have to deal with. Deal with it. That's what I'm looking for anyway. Because the last time, who was it we played in? Was it Kilmarnock or whoever he played against? And the crossboys coming in and it was ridiculous. Some 2 or 3 times he get caught in no man's land. He didn't know what to do. I like players who have got specific jobs to do it.
Kilmarnock, mate. Let's be honest.
What's that?
He wasn't great against Kilmarnock, if I'm being honest, no?
No, he wasn't, mate. But his job is, he's better at crossboys than McGregor. I'm not going to argue the point. But the trouble is, when he's in the team, he needs to deal with them. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's what I think anyway. If you're one of the players who've got a specific brought into the team to do a specific job, do the job. That's why you're there. That's the reason. He'll never be the Rangers number 1, but he'll never play 38 league games or 60 games a season.
Andy, here's a wee start for you. Ryan Jack playing the day. That's the most games he's been involved in since the 2019-20 season.
Good.
Yeah, you see that's the problem, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's a great shame whether he gets a contract, whether he stays fit. the great shame that you always look back, and I think he'll look back on it himself, is I think he could have been a real stalwart at Rangers if he could have stayed fit. And I think he would have been the captain of the club. You know, I've said it before. But that's the shame. I think he'll be sitting there himself regretting all that. You know what I mean? I think the main injury that caused his problem was that big guy at Motherwell that went on his knee that night and near I snapped it in half. I don't think he ever really recovered for that one, to be honest with you. That's him. That's him. Yeah. That's the one. Yeah.
I agree with you.
I was being nice there. I was going to call him something else, old bear, but I was being nice. But you see, in a goalkeeping situation, I want to see when McCrory gets fit. I want to see him get 2 or 3 games. And you know the one I'd like to see in the Rangers nets? I would like to see that Xander Diamond there at Rangers. I think he's a cracking keeper, him.
Clark.
Was it Clark? The Hearts goalie there that played there the other night. That's it. Yeah, I'd really like to see him come to Rangers. I think there was talk of it last season. I'm pretty sure there was.
Never had a look, mate, but that's where I'd have fancied him. I know. We'll be joined by Blue Star, the Blue Nose family, big Blue Nose family. Afternoon, Blue Star.
Afternoon, Ox Chair, Allbear and Andy.
Aye.
Once again, guys, he's flummoxed us with his team, as you know. I thought the wee guy was a cert to start, Raskin. I certainly didn't think he would adapt Tillman, but I mean, obviously I get it, and I definitely didn't. I thought he might have dropped Kamara, but I thought he would have kept one of them in. But I'm surprised he dropped him and Tillman. But there you go, our manager seems to know what he's doing. But aye, all good. It just shows you the options he's got now. As you said, Ox last night, for a long period of time there, we were basically leaving Stein with the same kind of 13, 14 players, weren't we? Now he's got options.
Aye, Allbear's put his front 4 with 5 players, so he's got all the options, Allbear.
No, I just play a 13 aside, that's what I want. get over good players. So, it's one of the ones. He's been struggling. And to be fair to Van Bronckhorst, when he was there, he was struggling as well. You know what I mean? With a limited selection. Now we've got players coming back plus 2 new signings. It's some difference in it. 2 players and a couple of players back for injury, and the whole picture changes completely. It's unbelievable. But let's hope the day we play that same aggressive attacking football in their faces. Don't let them settle. Don't let them settle and get in their faces, because the last couple of times they've been at Ibrox, they were too comfortable for me. They were strolling about the park too comfortable for me. No team could come to Ibrox and feel like that. They should be in there again. We're going for a batter with this mob, and that's what I'm expecting. That's what I want.
And keep going, Andy. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the thing is as well that also is up with performances of late is that, I don't think they're sure who's going to get a game. So that's up in their game, making them try harder when they cross the white lines. I think he's very clever what he's doing there, right enough. Listen, it's a better headache to be in than the one that we've been in for the last 12 months, eh? So I'll take that, and if we start getting performances anything like what we got there on Wednesday night, they're going to be doing some damage for the remainder of the season, and that surely makes every Rangers fan out there happy. It certainly does me. I mean, that was actually great to come on the last couple of nights and all that, talk about the Rangers and listen to the other guys, and not be mumping their gums all the time. You know what I mean? That feels fantastic. That's what we all want, isn't it?
I've had a few messages saying, is Andy all right?
No, it's a different change of vodka, that's what it is.
Listen, I know sport's not like that. If it was that simple, you play like that every week, but that's the benchmark, Blue Star. And what I'm saying when I say that benchmark, that's the speed, the intensity, that's the passing, the movement we want. All right, the other team might stop you and break away and score a goal. That's football. But you've set your standards.
Without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, we all accept that if another team comes out and has a right good go at you, that's what especially the cup games are all about. You can be the best team in the world, and if a team's set up properly against you, they can make it difficult for any side. But you can tell right away for the first whistle whether your players are not even so much up for it, but whether they're charged up for it, that they're out there and they're playing with that intensity, that fire in their bellies, and that was a glorifying thing for me on Wednesday night, for us all, because we were all the same opinion. When you watch your team playing like that, there's nothing else you can say bar superlatives. For the first whistle, they were at it. When they didn't have the ball, which was very often actually, but when they didn't have the ball, the Hearts players could hardly string two passes together because the Rangers players were straight at them. They were actually hunting in packs as whoever was on that ball. And it wasn't just maybe 2 players, 3 players on the one guy. What I loved about it was our midfield and even our attackers, to be fair to our front 3, they were coming back when they had to close down even the guys that were the Hearts players were attempting to pass the ball to, because they couldn't even, if they had a bit of space, they couldn't pass to who they wanted to, because our players weren't tapping them like a ton of bricks. It was magic. It was just, and then when they got the ball, sure enough, they just looked forward and they were passing that ball forward all the time. It was brilliant. So if that's his benchmark, which it is, because that's what he said. He said he's playing to the same system, but he'll rotate the players, and that's what we all want to see. You give guys a rest when you think they're needing a rest so that they're fresh for the upcoming game, or you can bring certain ones, whether it's Lowry or whatever, on later in the game if you're a couple of goals up. It's brilliant, and that's what we just weren't able to do, because we never had the players. Now we've got players back for injury and we've got new ones in. It's just magic. And if we keep playing like that, I'm telling you guys, there's no many teams going to be able to live with us. It's just not going to happen. They might make it difficult for us, of course they can, but we'll score goals, we'll win games, no doubt about it.
I think there's some breaking news. Southside Super 6, mate, is beat before 3 o'clock. Andy, comments?
I just get up as a bad job, right enough. And they don't know what'll happen. They'll put one in and everybody will say, I saw that, I'm just going to get a drink here, and it'll come in, won't it? Big price. That's what usually happens, doesn't it, right enough? But look, it's all for fun, like he says, right enough. As long as the Rangers win, I don't think any of us are bothered.
Can we not put it on as an alright 5 now? No, a Super 6.
His reputation is in tatters, Albert.
A tipster he is not. I'll tell you that. I think I'm stating the obvious there.
I thought most of the ones he picked talks. I need to be honest. I thought he'd picked basically the favourites. I thought he had a good chance there.
He did.
Put it this way, Blue Star. See if he was a football team, he'd be fighting relegation, didn't he?
Fair play. I mean, he keeps coming back.
He'll not be getting a new bike out of them winnings, that's for sure.
No.
There's always next week.
What's that, Albert?
Oh, there's always next week, isn't there?
There's always. We'll be watching McLaughlin, Tavernier, Golson, Davis, Barisic, Jack, Lundstrom, Cantwell, Fashion Jr., Kent, and Bareilles. Subs: McGregor, Hadji, Cholak, Kamara, Sands, Wright, Raskin, Lowry, and Tillman. We talk about rotation, we talk about players coming in and out. That doesn't seem to apply to the defence, Albert.
I don't think he wants to rotate the defence. We'll see what happens with rotate the defence at the beginning of the season. He's trying a bit of stability in there, a bit of understanding. It's important that they 5 know what each one's doing. And you only get that by playing regularly together. So changing centre-halves in particular is not a good idea. And keepers, I suppose. I don't like this rotating keepers myself, personally. You get your keeper and he's playing well, leave him in. He sees the whole game. He's the one that organises it. He sees most of the game better than any other player in the park. So he organises it. If you keep changing it, I don't know. It just puts, and it's small margins now in the modern game, isn't it? It's no big margins. And if you're putting a keeper in there and he's making a slight difference to the quality of your defence, it could be the defining moment. You know what I mean? I think McGregor is the number 1 keeper. I just keep him in. I know he's 41. I know he's come to the end of his career. But he is the number one, so you play your number one as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, so on that, when you just as all bears mentioning keepers, I presume you've heard me, just in case you hadn't. I meant to say on the show last night, Billy Thompson that played for us, he's in a real bad way with cancer in one of the wards in a real bad way. So, and I thought he wasn't what I'd say was a brilliant goalkeeper, but he was steady enough when he played for us, I thought. But I agree with Albert on that one, Ox. It's a weird. It's one of the kind of weird positions, isn't it? You always like to have a kind of stable kind of goalkeeper. I agree with Albert there. But as you say on the defence, it's the only one you can really see that's maybe going to get pressurised now. He's obviously he can play the likes of Suter maybe in a cup game or that, but you can only really see Yilmaz maybe pushing Barisic. As Andy says, as Albert says, that you don't see Taverdat getting pushed in it. I don't anyway.
Not at the moment. Nobody squad we've got at the moment. Anyway, we're going to hear from the manager, see what he's going to say about the changes. Is that all right with you, Andy boy? Let's hear third gaffer, Michael Beale.
Michael, return to Ibrox and Scottish Premiership action. How have preparations been for this one?
Obviously very fast after Wednesday night. Obviously the mood in the camp's good, but it was important that we recovered. It's the third game in a week. Obviously the confidence is in a good place after such a really good performance on Wednesday, but we must start today. That doesn't give us a 1-0 head start in this game. We must show the same energy, the same desire, the same quality as we did on Wednesday, and make sure we give a performance for the home fans here at Ibrox.
Yeah, I'm sure you're looking for a continuation of those performance levels right throughout the 90 minutes like you showed at Tynecastle. Yeah,
listen, I thought last week in the first 15-20 minutes we created numerous opportunities and we're probably a bit toothless in the final third in our last pass or shot. If we can play at the same level in terms of a chance creation but be a bit more ruthless, then I think we'll all be happier. We're on the back of 3 clean sheets. It's important we continue that onwards now and make that a habit. But certainly in the final third, I want us to be obsessed with scoring and creating. We picked another really attacking team today to try to do that for the home fans.
Yeah, 3 changes to the team from midweek. Just talk us through those.
John comes in for Alan, and Alan's played the last 2, but we think that's a good thing just to freshen that up. And then obviously Todd and Ryan Jack come in for Glenn Kamara and Malik Tillman, who were outstanding on Wednesday, but this would be their 3rd game in the week. And when you look at our squad at the moment, it's looking strong. So Todd comes in after having a rest on Wednesday, and so does Ryan Jack, and they'll come in with loads of enthusiasm. The front 3 are in fine form, so it's very difficult to shift them. But we have managed to rest them across the 2 games earlier in the week as well, and hopefully we get the rewards for that today to make sure that they're full of legs, but also alert in the final third and showing their quality.
Yeah, just lastly, what qualities do you want to see from your side today?
I want to see if we can continue with the same intensity out of possession. I think that's the key to where we want to go as a club, being strong defensively, being aggressive in our pressing. We know today we might have slightly more possession earlier in the game, so it's hard to press when you've got the ball. But then when we do have it, can we play with greater speed? Can we get up around Ross County's box and can we lock them in there and keep them there with crosses and shots and people passing and running? When the ball turns over, it's important that we show that desire to get it back straight away so that they can't get any rhythm. And if we do that, I'm sure there'll be opportunities for us to win the game. But it's important we reset and try to put on another performance that we're proud of.
I don't know about you, lads. Well, it's results. It doesn't matter what you say. We'll talk about press conferences all we like. We don't really care that much about them. They're information for us and opinions. But see, when he talks about what he talks about the game, he's saying a lot of things that the support are saying. We should be playing better, we should be scoring more goals. Yeah, we started well for the last 20 minutes last week, which we all did, then we were rubbish. He's actually very, very honest. Albert?
Aye, I mean, you can't fault him for his honesty. He tells you how he sees it, and most of the times how he sees it is how we're seeing it as well. But I was interested there when he said about the intensity. when you have no goal possession. What he said really was, we slow ourselves down. It's when we've got the ball, that's when we slow down. It's not the actual going and getting the ball. We're good at going and getting the ball, but when we've got a lot of possession, we slow the play down, and that's true. That is true. We've been saying it for long enough. Lundstrom and on, and we start slowing, walking, pace. Goldson does it, Tab does it. They all start slowing down because we've got a lot of the ball. It's trying to keep the intensity up when you've got the ball for that amount of time. You're talking about 60, 70, 80% of the play. So it's difficult. I know it's difficult, but that's the key to it, isn't it? Keeping it up, keeping the tempo up. Good point. I enjoyed what you said there. It gives you an insight, doesn't it?
I both started did mention that they've come out because they've played 3 games in a row, red zones. Don't know what's supposed to start. Andy?
Yeah, well, I think that's practically what we said before the interview up there. We were saying that before the game, right? And if I think he listens to Rangers Radio, I think that's where he gets his knowledge. But no, I mean, we were saying the same things, and I think he gets it. When he came up that time before he got the job, and he mingled with the fans, before we played the Sheep and all that. I think he's a guy that listens to us and gets how we feel. I think you can't go wrong with that. I mean, he is growing on me. Like I said, I will still say at times I think he's too honest. Blue will know what I mean by that, but you can't not knock him for that. You know what I mean? He's...
That's somebody else you do.
I've got to be on my game here now. I usually just come on half pumped and just go away, but I'm going to go watch what you're saying now.
Oh dear.
He only just basically reiterates what we all think and see. And he's right, and so's Albert. Sometimes you wonder if I'm being too honest, but he says all the right things. He says exactly what we all think and what we all see. If we're not on the ball and we're letting the opposing team pass the ball, but you've got to be on top of them, and that's basically what he's saying, and giving certain players a rest. Aye, and so he should. And when you think you've got a decent enough squad of players, that's the conflict. That's the good point, when you can give guys a rest so that they're fit enough again to go again in the following game. So it's all good.
Aye, it's funny that, innit? You get results and you can rest people. You don't get results, Albert, and you don't rest people. It's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it?
It's luxury seems to leave then. It's panic time, isn't it? It's panic. But it is a results-driven business, as we all know. No, I mean, it's one of the ones that just keep getting the results and you can say and do what you actually want. It doesn't really make any difference. Again, it's down to get the result. To me, it's the performance is secondary. You need to get the result. I let in Wednesday there. That was a result and a performance. So it's nice to see, and it's great. And that's the type of football we all want to see, and the kind of game we all want to see. But it's it's practically impossible in Scotland to get that all season. You've just got to suck it up at times, most of the time. But again, he'll no rotate. If you're not winning, he'll no rotate as much as he's going to rotate when we are winning. You're right. I don't know. It's one of the anomalies, isn't it?
Doesn't add up.
I know it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. But hey ho, football doesn't make sense at times, doesn't it? I mean, there's Everton beat Arsenal. That didn't make sense, does it?
Well, I knew Everton would beat them, mate. The Southside took Arsenal.
Oh well. They get the finger of death pointed at them. Arsenal, their season came to an end today.
You know. So I'm glad they never took Rangers to win Southside, you know. Right, but well, how do you see it going, Blue Star?
Honestly, Ox, I can't see less than 2, even 3, 4. Honestly, I think they'll obviously come out and defend, and it's about us breaking them down. But honestly, I'm expecting a comfortable win. Seriously, I am. I think he's got through to the players, and I think they're out there fighting for it now. Here's hoping that we can take a right few after them.
Okay, I hope you're right. Andy, you got a bet on?
Yes, I took him at 4, and I just got. I went for a feeling. I said, "Well, I'll go for a 5 as well and see what happens." But I'm quite happy because like if we're going forward like this, you had the Ross County last week, you had the Hearts game there on Wednesday. Poor after 24 minutes in the Ross County game. Hearts brilliant. If we can up the gauge in between that, we're going to be better, aren't we?
Ross County's a day. St Johnstone last week, Andy.
I told you it was a different brand of vodka. But if we can get up the notches in between and get it round about 8, we're going to be good. We're going to be blowing teams away. And you also got players today, whether they play really well, whether they get 3, 4, 5, right, they're not assured that they're going to be in the team. So that keeps them all on the toes. Got to be good going forward. That's how I see it.
All right, I'm looking forward to the boy Raskin getting on the pitch. Oh yeah.
Aye, I hope he does go on, and I hope it's sooner rather than later, and I hope that will mean we're winning comfortable and we can actually put the boy on right up, maybe a half an hour to go, 20 minutes to go or whatever. So definitely, I hope he is the player they think he is as well. Time will tell. But I am looking forward to seeing the boy.
All right, gents. Thanks, all bear. Thanks.
No bother, mate.
Thanks, Blue Star.
Yeah, pleasure. Cheers,
yep.
mate.
Yeah, thanks to Fox and All Schoolboy for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle, celebrating a Rangers victory. Take it away, All Schoolboy.
I've even heard the underlings the best they've ever seen. The Manchester United